Welcome back to Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy and we're going to get straight into our explosive penny stock watch list. So the first stock we're looking at here is Humble on the daily time frame. Markets are still open for about 10 minutes, so we are starting a little bit early today. But with Humble today, we had very nice price action. We were up 11% currently. Our MACD is starting to bounce off of our support line, but the biggest thing is that we actually clawed our way back into our triangle. So you guys know I did mention that we could potentially see a double bottom here at around 75 cents. We got as low as about 79, but then we came right back up. So this was a great sign overall. I'm very excited to see how this price action carries on next week. Humble had some great performances with some of their sponsored athletes, and I'm very excited to see how this company continues to integrate entertainment, sports, performing, everything all in one for a nice NFT experience for consumers to not only trade but benefit financially off of. If we zoom this out a little bit, just to look at our accumulation over distribution, every time we have a run, we have a solid period of consolidation, we have another run followed by a period of consolidation, and I think now we are going to be ready for the next leg up. We are starting to get back into our pattern. Our next step here with Humble is to get above its 50 SMA. Overall today, the price action could not have been better here for Humble. I'm very glad to see that we were able to claw back into this triangle, and now that does give me more conviction that we are ready to make the move outside of this triangle and to the upside. But just remember, this pattern does go out all the way until the end of August, so we still have a couple more weeks where this thing could shift down or it could shift up. And just understand that now is the time to be loading up, whether it's at 90 cents, 85 cents, 95 cents. Under a dollar, you should be going in on Humble, and you should be collecting as much as you can at this range. Next stock of the day, we're looking at IGEN, and first time in a long time, we are finally green on this one, and we had an explosive day today, up currently right now 18%. And so there's two patterns I want to bring you guys into. First one is this longer term line of resistance. So this line right here comes all the way back to these levels of support that we can see back here in 2017. If I do bring this out further, it does take us all the way back to 2015. But what I want to mention with this line is that this used to be treated as support, but then it turned into a level of resistance for the stock. This was a fake breakout. We could call this a bull trap, but then here we are today. We are finally breaking this to the upside. We also then have a shorter term downtrend pattern in this wedge. You could see right here clearly lots of tests of resistance, lots of tests of support. We actually did get a back test on this level of support, and now that we are above both levels of resistance right now on IGEN, whether this is a breakout of a 4-month long downtrend or this is a breakout of a 5-year long downtrend, regardless, what we saw today was exactly what we wanted to see. Anytime you're breaking out of a pattern like this, you want it to be on good volume. You could see our volume was absolutely amazing. You could see our accumulation has been absolutely insane on this stock. And the last thing I want to mention here is our MACD finally has a very nice little pre-anticipatory trajectory that is going to lead us potentially to a positive MACD that could be the beginning of a nice bull run. Just to mention right here with our accumulation, I put a line here just to show you guys at what levels and at what previous times we were trading at the same level of accumulation. So if we bring it back over here, you could see we had price ranges above a penny over here, same thing here. And then if we look at over here, same thing, we have around a penny. So at the same accumulation, our price is a lot lower than it once was. So you already know that this thing is coiled up. This thing is going to run when it runs, and it's going to be very quick. I expect to see consecutive days like the one that we saw today, and I expect this to carry forward next week. So I'm very excited to see how IGEN does right now. Biggest thing is we did break out of this longer term level of resistance, and I'm excited to see if we can back test this next week and then carry on forward. Next stock of the day, we're looking at HYSR on the daily time frame. So up 20% today, but I want to show you guys the difference between the 20% up on IGEN and the 20% up here on HYSR. If we look at our accumulation over distribution, it is clear that there's been a lot more distribution than accumulation. Even just recently, this run right here is off not only little volume, but very little accumulation. So this is not a very strong move in my opinion. Although we got a nice percentage move, on a technical level, this isn't the greatest. We got rejected by this level of resistance that was once a level of support. And so although we are looking good today, it doesn't look the greatest right now for HYSR. And I just want to show you guys how sometimes the price action can be misleading, so you really need to look at other indicators as well as other stocks to see any sort of comparisons as well as any divergences that you can find that will help you make a better long-term decision. And when you're looking at price action today, you may think HYSR is a great play, but understand that the distribution has been extraordinarily high on this stock, and we also got rejected by a key level of resistance that was once a level of support. So don't be faked out here with HYSR. Next stock of the day, we're looking at WDLF on the daily time frame. So where is this line coming from? I just added this line because this line again was a level of support for a while on this stock, and then it was treated as a level of resistance right here. So at one point we are going to have to break this level of resistance. This shorter term downtrend is officially over in my opinion. The next move is to break out of this longer term downtrend, which would be breaking past this level of resistance. And so right now our price action is still consolidating, not the greatest accumulation on the stock. Our MACD looks pretty nice, but overall this stock in my opinion is extremely undervalued, and it will eventually get its recognition once its companies start to IPO and we actually start to see revenues. And so the reason why I love WDLF is just how their deals are structured. They get a percentage of the revenue of each company that IPOs under them, as well as a certain percentage guaranteed revenue. And so in my opinion, this company doesn't have much to lose when their incubated businesses become public companies. They have great structured deals that will capitalize on the strength of those companies. That would not only just grow their market cap, however, that will actually attract other companies that are looking to uplist as well as become public companies, get better guidance, and Social Life Network could be that company for them. And so today, green day. Out of our downtrend, next step here is to get past this level of resistance. At this point is at around 009. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SEGI on the daily time frame. So tough days here in SEGI. Broke past our level of support. MACD did get a crossover to the downside. Our distribution was off today. But if you zoom it out, you can see how good the accumulation has been on this stock. So that actually gets me excited here on SEGI. So if anyone is able to buy up shares at these prices, these are a God's blessing right here in my opinion. And so we still could see some more room to the downside. I just want to add in our 10-day SMA just to see. So we are still below our 10-day, and you can see we aren't looking like we are getting past it anytime soon. So with SEGI, there's going to be a little bit more patience here, like with all stocks. Just be patient if you have SEGI. The technicals still look pretty good overall, but the short term right here doesn't look the greatest. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ALYI. So ALYI today down again, and you can see right now we are in no man's land. You can see recent distribution. Our MACD potentially could be curling, but this is not strong enough for me to build a case around it. If I zoom this out a little bit, same thing here with our accumulation over distribution. You can see we still have had some distribution, but it is not that insane. So when I see stuff like this, I do expect these type of stocks to rebound. If I see a stock that just has straight down distribution like an HYSR, those pumps have less conviction for me, whereas these ones with these type of plays that actually have some strong accumulation actually have a lot stronger conviction for me. And so when I look at ALYI, I think it's just a matter of time till this thing crawls back up and we start to see some movement to the upside. An example where we don't have the greatest accumulation is MJNA. So MJNA has not really shown any sort of strength or conviction with how people are holding this. So I had a strong belief that when we broke past this level of resistance, this was going to be a strong momentum stock. It has the name, and it has the catalyst behind it to make this propel even higher than what it has in the past. And so overall, we haven't seen anything come to fruition. Overall, we haven't seen anything come to fruition with the stock. We haven't seen a lot of those federal catalysts come in just yet. I just think the Biden administration is focusing on other things right now, and they will eventually get to the federal legalization of MJ or the decriminalization of it. And so we just have to be patient, but we do know that this was part of the propaganda that he had. Biden was talking about it, so I do expect some sort of pressure to come on the government to talk about federal legalization within these 4 years of his running. And so with that, I still think MJNA is going to be a great play during this time. Next stock of the day, we're looking at RDGL on the daily time frame. So again, RDGL is getting very close to breaking out. This pattern is almost close to concluding. Beginning of September, accumulation continues to rise. As soon as this breaks out and gets the back test, RDGL is ready to go, and that is probably when I will reopen my position in RDGL, waiting for the breakout, waiting for the back test, and that's when I will be in. I've already milked out a nice position on this early, and I did capitalize on this run, and now I'm waiting to get back in for my second round. I'm liking this accumulation, and so with a breakout, this thing could go up 20, 25, 40, 50% in a day. I just see this as a strong accumulation, and so we'll see when we're breaking out, but I have a very close eye on RDGL because I think this thing can go absolutely nutty. Next stock of the day, we're looking at ACDC on the daily time frame. So ACDC is starting to look better right now. You can see we've bottomed out on our distribution. We've been clawing back up. Right now, we are still in our triangle that does expire here on August 19th, and so if we break this to the upside, this is going to be a great time to be accumulating. Regardless, at these prices for ACDC for the long term, this company is an easy buy and hold. They have real contracts. They're going to be worth a lot more than what they are today. And so if you have the patience to stand with this company, this is going to be a great investment for the long term. Next stock of the day, we're looking at Job. So Job continues to disappoint me. This is one of those stocks that I just put in because of a sympathy play. I'm in no hurry with this one. I just feel that this got disgustingly destroyed during the pandemic, and it will eventually turn the tide once everything gets a little bit better. But because the narratives continue to focus on any sort of variant or any sort of other disease, it is going to be tough for Job to climb out of this hole. However, I am patient with this one. I still believe I have this at a very attractive price, and so I'm going to continue to hold this until we fill this gap to at least 85 cents here on Job. Next stock of the day, we're looking at SNDL on the daily time frame, down about 2% today. And right now, we are getting a coil up of all of our SMAs. We're trading below our 200, so I expect us to consolidate for at least another month before we start to see larger movements up. Again, SNDL is going to run on any sort of talks around decriminalization as well as federal legalization. And so at any point in time, SNDL could run, but as long as it's below its SMAs, there's no real hurry to get into it. I think the best way to play SNDL is for a momentum trade, and that would happen once you break past this 50 SMA and you start to see some good volume. That's just my opinion overall on SNDL. You guys know I'm a big believer of high tide over SNDL for a long-term play in the cannabis industry. And so that was my quick little update here on our explosive penny stock watch list. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like. We are on the road to 10K subs, so if you made it to this point, feel free to hit that subscription button. This is Dummy Boy Finance. I'm Dummy Boy, and I'll see you guys in the next one.